Okay, so I'm just going to log into Athena. So this is the lock screen here. You don't need a new username or password. It is your Windows login username and password. It's not for my case. Okay, and then it takes you through to the main screen here. As we're doing postnatal inpatients, we're going to go to the location. And today our patient is going to be on transitional care. Okay, so for today's session, we're going to be covering a scenario where the patient had an instrumental delivery and suffered heavy blood loss. She also developed sepsis and has started receiving treatment for this. As she is now stable, she has been transferred to TCW. Okay, so this patient here hasn't been assigned to a bed space yet. So we need to locate our patient down the bottom of the screen. And our patient today is going to be Jeff Young. So I'm going to click on the three dots next to their name and come down to where it says assigned to bed. And I'm going to select an unoccupied one. So I'm going to go with E4 and click OK. And then if I scroll up to E4, our patient is now there. So go in and have a look at their notes. So if you've attended previous training, here it would have had the option to view inpatient notes. Because the patient has now delivered and is up on the ward, it now says view postnatal inpatient notes. So I'm going to select that option there. Okay, so you may have noticed since attending your antenatal inpatient training, there are some additional tabs and options here. So for example, on clinical assessments, you'll notice now that there are some postnatal assessments. So we will cover the midwifery postnatal assessment in a moment. You also have a checklist tab across the top there, which I believe was the options that was in the lilac notes. And we do also now have some baby options. So you've got the baby's birth, and then you've got the baby observations, which again we'll be covering in a lot more detail throughout today's session. So now we've received the patient on the ward, the very first thing we're going to do is go and accept the handover. So I'm going to go to the management tab and scroll down till we get to FBAR history. And we've got our FBAR here from the delivery suite. I'm going to go in and click on the receiving staff to do the authentication. Now, if when reviewing this you notice the receiving staff name is unknown or incorrect, you can cancel that one down and go to the edit option to the right of it there. Alright, I am working from home today, so it might be a little bit slower some points. And then on the receiving staff on the bottom right hand side, I'm going to pop in my name and then just click through. In the additional details, I'm just going to add that it was a face-to-face handover and click finish. And now if I go back into the second authentication required, you'll see it's now got my name there as the receiving staff member. And I'm happy with that one, so I'm going to hit finish. And it's now updated it to say the receiving staff is myself. We're also going to go in and have a look at the admittance narrative. So this kind of shows an overview of what has happened since the patient has been admitted. So for this one, it's under the admission tab and admittance narrative. Okay, so you can see it includes everything that's been recorded since the patient has been in. If you attended the Guardian or Labour training, you'll see it's got all of the information copied over from there. Excuse me, sorry. And if you may have seen previously, you can add a note to this. If you can just hit the add note button and type a note in there. If you're aware, it's also important to complete a risk assessment. So we go to risk assessment and overall risk assessment. The most recent one will be at the top there for you. And any previous ones are down the bottom. You can just click on the date there and you can go and review any previous risk assessments. So we're actually going to go in and add a new one. And on this screen here, you know, if you've also got the pink risk flower here, you can click on that one. Again, just to view any additional risk information. Now, because our patient is high risk, flower is pink. If they're low risk, it will be green, or if there has been no risk assessments done, it will be grey. Okay, so for this one, we're going to say yes, the pregnancy is high risk. Yes, all relevant risk assessments undertaken. Correct care pathway based on this risk. Yeah. Has the current modified personal care and support plan been discussed? Yeah. Now you notice the bottom two options may not be necessarily relevant now that the person has given birth. So we've got chosen place of birth still appropriate and chosen type of place of birth still appropriate. So I'm going to select no to those ones and hit next. And in the comments box, I'm going to type in no change to risk. So no change to risk status based on current risk assessment. And then I'm going to hit finish. And it's now updated it to the most recent one at the top there. And then we're going to go on to the ward orientation. Again, this one is under admission, and the second option down on the left, you've got ward orientation. If there was any previous or recent ward orientation, they'll be filled out here for you. I'm going to go in and add a new one. So I'm going to leave the date and time as now, but if it was something that you had completed previously and you're just going up to update now, you can change that to the time that you actually completed the ward orientation. I'm going to fill out the location in the say transitional care. Now you can go in and do the checklist individually, or there is an option at the top there just to select all yes, and that filled that all out there for me. And then I'm just going to hit finish. Okay, any questions so far? Oh, okay. I'm now going to move on and do some checks on mum. Okay. So I'm going to go to the clinical assessment tab at the top. And I'm going to select midwifery postnatal assessments on the left-hand side. Now, is there anyone that's willing to fill this one out for me if I give you control?
I don't mind
Charlotte?
doing it if you want.
Oh, Harriet? Yep.
I'll get it out of the way.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, if you wiggle your mouse, yep. Perfect. Thank you. So towards the top of the screen, if you can click on Add New Assessment for me. Okay, and time of observations we're going to leave as now.
Yeah.
Perfusion, we're going to do good perfusion. Lochia, we're going to say if normal. We're going to say lochia offensive, no. And rubra. Predation / neural response, we're going to say is alert. Bundle height, we're going to say below umbilicus. Type of assessment, face-to-face. Uterus status, well contracted. And then if you can hit next down the bottom for me. Perfect, thank you. Perineal trauma present, we're going to say yes. Sutures present, yes. And they are dissolvable. Okay, condition of perineal trauma, we're going to say is clean and dry. Perfect, we haven't taken any swabs, so no to the next two. And there is no abdominal wound present. Perfect, and then if you can click next for me. So are you able to walk and move your legs normally? We're going to say no. And in the box next to it, if you can please type recently had an epidural. Thank you. And then is the sensation back to normal? No. Have you had a headache that limits you getting up out of bed? If you can select yes to that one. There is no backache. And they are satisfied with anaesthetic care. Okay, so down the bottom of the screen, can you see that you've got a red box pop up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have indicated an issue in one of the above questions or unsatisfied with anaesthetic care, please refer to the anaesthetist. So you can do the referral from within this screen. So where you've got your 4 icons on the top left-hand corner, you've got one that looks like a purple little person. Yeah, if you can click on that one for me. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, if you can click add referral. Okay, so date of referral we're going to say is today. Referral status is made. Referral reason is anaesthetic assessment issues. Referral destinations, anaesthetics, Derriford Hospital. Okay, and then referral made, if you can either just type my name or test. Yeah, perfect, thank you. And then if you can hit finish. Okay, so the referral's been made there, so you can just make sure you hit save in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, and then we can carry on with the rest of the postnatal assessment. See if you can hit next for me. Okay, so Bromwich score LHS, if you can go for 3. Oh, sorry, yeah, Amy.
Just being picky and worrying about the doors. I'm assuming the referral that the anaesthetist goes behind a door that they then access. Why would we not have picked obstetric anaesthetist at Derriford? Why would we pick the general anaesthetist?
That will be a question for Francesca or kind of Linda or Michelle, I'm afraid. These here are just the options that they've asked us to pick when we're going through and doing it.
Okay.
If I go back in with a not, so why not one of those options there?
Yeah.
If that's something you could normally do, I would just check with Francesca. It's just for this scenario here, she's asked us to pick that option there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll double check. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, and then Harriet, when you've got the dermatome assessment, LHS, can you go for T6 for me? Okay, and then on the other side, we're going to do it exactly the same. So 3 and then T6 as well. Thank you. And then if you can hit next. Okay, so we're going to say breast and nipples, no concerns. Legs, we're going to say TED in situ. And pain, we're going to go with headache. And then if I could get you to hit next. Okay, so tissue viability, we're going to say pressure ulcer assessment completed, no concerns. And skin pressure areas intact. And then hit next. So we're not going to complete any pressure ulcer risk assessment today, but you'll see on the screen the most recent one again is displayed here for you, and any previous ones will also be listed. If you do ever need to go in and create one, you would just hit new and fill out the options required. Okay, so then Harriet, if I can hit you to click next for me. Okay, so date and time of first void. If I can just get you to hit now for me. Thank you. And then we're going to say method of passing indwelling catheter. Okay, and then we're going to go bladder, no confirmed. Okay, so with urine passing fast assessment, we're going to say catheter in situ. Okay, and appearance of urine in bag is clear. And then if I can get you to select next for me. Okay, for this one, we're going to go in and say bowels no stool not passed. Okay, and then hit next. Postpartum psychosis diagnosed, we're going to say no. And then if you click next again. Okay, so for this one, we're going to say fatigue of no concerns. Emotion of no concerns. Postnatal exercises, we're going to say pelvic floor. Seen by physiotherapist, no. Fit to discharge home, no. Fit to discharge to midwifery-led care, no. And then next again. Yeah, there we go. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Harriet. So you'll see here that the postnatal assessment that we've just completed has appeared down on the screen there for us. I'm just going to count for your control there. Sorry, my mouse has decided to disappear now. There we are. Okay, so again, if there had been multiple ones completed, they would be all filled out here for you. If, when you've completed it, you've just gone in and checked it and you've noticed that something wasn't correct, you can go in and edit it if needed. Okay, any questions on that one? No? Okay, perfect, thank you. So now we're going to move on and have a look at baby checks. Okay, so for this, we're going to go into the baby obs. So pretty much all of the baby stuff that we're going to do today is under the baby option. So first of all, we're going to go in and complete the newts. So at the top there, you've got the add baby observations option. So date and time of check, I'm going to say that is done now. Temperature, I'm going to say is 37. Okay, but you might notice if I'm doing that then, if there's, it will also do the scoring of red and yellow as well there for you. 5 breath, normal respiration status, normal. Heart rate, we're going to say 125. Colour, we're going to say pink, normal. Because we've selected the colour of being pink or normal, it's not requiring us to put in the oxygen facts there. Tone, we're going to say responsive, feeding well, no parental concerns. If you are doing the blood glucose, you can record that there, but it isn't a mandatory field, so I'm going to leave that one blank and hit next. Again, it will show you the NUT threshold and triggers here and what to do to escalate it. And then I'm going to hit finish. So again, if before, you'll see it filled all out here for you, and you can go in and edit it if needed. On the left-hand side, you do have the option of viewing the NUT chart. Okay, so across the top there will be the date and time that the obs were recorded, and they'll be plotted there for you. Next, we're going to go and do a baby assessment. Some people refer to them as kind of a daily baby checks. And I'm going to go in and click Add New Baby Assessment. Okay. So who wants to fill this one out for me?
I'll do it.
Sorry, was that you, Chelsea?
It's Charlotte.
Charlotte, sorry. Oh, you're not on my list there, Charlotte.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
no idea why that is, because you are logged in on your trust account there.
Okay.
Apologise for that. So Chelsea or Frida, did either of you?
Yeah. I'll do
Yeah.
it, Chelsea.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, if you wiggle your mouse, it should be on the screen there for you. Lovely, thank you. Okay, for a date and time of check, we're going to leave that one as that one is. We're going to say, yep, face to face. And we're going to say that the baby is not weighed. Yep, and then next. Skin and colour, we're going to say is normal. And jaundice is none. And hit next. So mouth is normal. Gums is normal. Left eye and right eye are normal. And down the bottom, all normal as well. Thank you. And then next. Okay, so bowel status, we're going to say is not opened. Past urine, yes. Okay, and we're going to go for the top option there. Sorry, where you've got the urine. Yeah. Thank you. And then cord status is normal. Sleeping, we're going to say not applicable. And sometimes people do tend to miss this one, but in the sleeping, you do have a little tick box that says safe sleeping discussed. Yeah, if you can click that one for me. Thank you. And then hit next. And then in the comments box, if you can just type in labels ×2 checked. Thank you. And then hit finish. Perfect. Thank you. How did you find doing that one?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Most of Athena is essentially just forms. And they're normally quite straightforward. Okay, thank you. So we're now going to go on and do some observations on mum. So I'm going to go back to click observations here, and I'm going to go to enter muse and add muse observation. Okay, Saida, do you fancy doing this one?
Yep.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, if you wiggle your mouth for me, yeah, perfect, thank you. So date and time, we're going to leave this now. Temperature, we're going to say is 37.4. Respiratory rate, we're going to say is 12. O2 saturation is 98. Heart rate is 102. And blood pressure is 110/70. Neurological response, we're going to say is alert. Okay, and then estimated urine output, we're going to say is more than 50 ml in the last 2 hours for the bottom option there. Oh, sorry, if you can just change that one to the bottom option for me. Thank you, and then hit next. Because it's coming up that the pulse entered with greater than 99 beats per minute, if this wanted us to check that that was correct, we're going to say yes, that was correct. So if you can hit yes for me. Similar to with the NOOF, it's showing you the escalation process if needed. And then if you can hit next for me. Right. Planned actions, if you can go for continue usual care. And then hit next. Okay, so we've got our fluid balance history here. So where you have add fluid balance observations or check, can you click on that one for me? Okay, so we're going to say that the patient has now had a drink. So where you've got intake and oral intake, if you can type in 150 for me. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you have the type of oral intake and a text box. Yeah, and if you can just type water in there for me. Perfect, and then hit finish. Yeah, and you can see it's now added that one to the running balance. And then if you hit finish. Okay, so on the left-hand side, if you can click on the move chart, just on this one here. Yeah, you can click that one.
Click it.
Yeah, click it.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so we've got a few more observations on here, just so you can kind of see what it looks like when it's plotted a bit more. And so let's do the most recent one here. And then if I scroll down there, you'll see also down the bottom, you do also have the neurological response and urine output calculated on there for you. Everyone happy with how to add the muse?
Yeah, can you just go back to the fluid balance for me?
Yeah, so you can as well. On the left-hand side, you can access that separately. So if you did just want to go in and do the fluid balance, you don't need to go in via the Muser. You can go in and add that as well separately.
Okay, I don't, running, it's the totals. Where are the, because she was minus 1,300 yesterday. And then today she's a running balance of plus 150. But what happened to the minus 100, 1,000, or did it cancel off at midnight?
I think it cancelled off, so it was actually done a week ago. Because the patients that we're using on here, they're not kind of exactly set up as a normal patient would be. So you would normally have a patient on there for a week and not recorded anything on there. So that's just kind of why it's not showing. If I go in and add a new one today,
yeah.
if I go in and add another 150, let's see what it says. So you can see it's now added the running balance up there for you.
Yeah, that's what was confusing me. Perfect, thank you. I hadn't realised the dates. Thanks.
That's okay. Okay. So we're now going to go in and show blood test. So I'm going to go to investigations on the top. So here we've got the kind of the history of the ones that have been requested for the patient. If you need to go in and record that you've requested a new test, you go to new investigation offer. So for this one, we're going to say that we've done a blood test. Now I'm not going to complete this one because you would have seen it in previous training, but you would come down to hematology and then you've got your full blood count option there, for example. And also under procedures, so as mum with septic, both mum and baby will need to be on IV antibiotics. If mum needed a blood transfusion, if they are completed in the same way as an IV. So on the left-hand side, you do have blood transfusions. And if you were recording that, you would go in and select Add New. Please ensure when you are filling them out on here that you do record the component number. Some people know it as a G number. Just need to make sure that that is filled out on the system. Please note all paper copies for blood transfusions will still need to be completed. And we're going to go in and say record an SBR for the baby for jaundice. So we've gone to baby obs and then you've got neonatal option there. So we're going to go in and record under the jaundice option our results. So here we're going to go in and say that the baby hasn't developed jaundice. And the bilirubin measurement type used was serum bilirubin. Okay, it's worth noting here that you still need to do the paper charts here to work out the maximum serum bilirubin levels. And then just record them here. So we're going to say the maximum for this one was 212 and the latest is 132 and hit finish. So serum bilirubin tests do still need to be requested on ICM. And then in order to record on the system that you have actually requested the test, on the left-hand side you have a baby comments. So here you've got the baby notes that you can go and add anything that you feel is relevant. I'm going to click the add baby notes. I'm going to say no concern for this baby. And I'm just going to type in SBR ordered on ICM and hit finish. And we're also going to go in and record that the baby is having an IV. Again, please note that it doesn't replace the paper chart. So on the left-hand side, you have an IV antibiotics option and add new. Again, I'm just going to go and keep the date and time saying we're doing it currently, but you can backdate it if needed. And on this one, you just need to fill out the antibiotic given. And the dose. If you need to add any additional comment, if you can type them in here, I'm just going to hit finish and you can see that I've added there. While we're still under the baby op, we're going to record that the baby has had another feed. So on the left hand side, again, you've got your feeding option. And you've got your add new. If there was any previous baby feed here, they would be all recorded for you. So again, date and time we're going to set, and we're going to keep those now. We're going to say that the baby has had formula. And underneath here, you've got the option you can type in the volume of the feed if required. I'm going to put 25. And it was bottle. No help was given for the feed. and there was skin-to-skin contact during feed. Is there formula supplementation for a breastfed baby? I'm going to say no. And waiver referral, I'm going to hit no. Okay, and comment on feeding. I'm just going to type in from here. I just put in feeding well, no concerns, advice given on pace/responsive feeding, and hit finish. So it's now recorded the feed down there for me. Okay, so we are going to now leave the postnatal inpatient notes briefly. We will come back to them in a second. So we're going to go in and have a look at NIPE for this patient. Okay, so for the NIPE, you are still going to be recording it on NIPE Smart as you do currently. And when you have recorded it, you'll need to save the PDF that is generated onto your computer, and then that will need to be uploaded to Athena. So in order to upload it onto Athena, you will need to come here and hover over where you've got profile and go to communications and attachments. And it gives you the option to add new attachment. And next where you've got select file, you've got two dots there. If you click on that one, that will bring up your file explorer, and then you can just navigate to where you have saved the PDF from NIPE Smart and then hit finish, and it will save it there for you. Any questions on that one? Okay. I'm gonna now go back to the postnatal inpatient note. And I'm gonna go back into baby obs. So if you need to complete a blood spot screening, that option as well is underneath the baby obs, and you can just go in and click add new. As this is mainly undertaken in the community, it will be covered in the outpatient training. I know some of you are attending that this afternoon, so they will cover that in detail with you then. Okay. So we're now going to jump on some time, and we're going to say that both mum and baby are well, and we're going to start the process of discharging them to community. So in order to do that one, we're going to go on and do an F-bar to community. So we're going to go to Management tab and scroll down to F-bar and click Add New. Okay, can I ask for a volunteer to fill this one out, please?
I will.
Thank you. Thank you. So date and time of handover, we're going to leave as now. Type of transfer, postnatal. Transferring from, if you can click on that one for me and go to transitional care. On the right hand side, okay, there isn't an option currently. So underneath that, you do have a free text box. So other transfer into, if you can just say, type in there, community midwife. Oh, yeah, you can do that
That'd
one
be
for
okay.
training. For training, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So handover staff down on the bottom left-hand side. Okay, again, you can either type in my name or just type in test or clinical. There are some examples on there for this. Okay, perfect, thank you. And then receiving staff, again, obviously you would type in the name of the staff receiving, but for this, if you just want to pick any of the test ones, again, that's absolutely fine.
Generally, Sam, we don't really know who we're transferring to in the community. So when we discharge them, we don't always know where they're going.
There is an unknown option that you can pick on there.
Okay.
Okay, so similar to how we did at the beginning, if you remember, when the patient came to the ward, there was an S bar to the ward and it was unknown, and I went and updated it with my name.
Mhm.
So that would be the similar with
Okay.
the community. When they receive it, they can go in and update it and change it to their actual name as well for you.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, and then if you can click next for me. So in the comments here, if you can just type in transfer of care. Perfect, and then hit next. Okay, and next again. Okay, so on the test system, this has been a little bit glitchy at the moment. Normally the assessment, so the big box, sorry, the observations and the assessments would be filled out automatically. So it would pull through the last recorded inpatient observations and fill that out for you. Same with the assessments. It's not working on the test system that we're using for training at the moment. So it's not populating there, but it will normally just pull through for you. So if I can get you to go to the comments box. Perfect. And if I can get you to type in septic after delivery. IV antibiotics given. And well now. Okay, and prescription chart reviewed, you're going to say yes. And in the prescription chart comment, if I can get you to type in cleaxane 40 milligrams and then 10/7 and coamoxiclav 625. Yeah, milligrams. TDS 7/7. Okay. And then if I can get you to click next for me. Okay, and next again to this one. So again, this is just where you can go through and review the information, and next again. And next. Okay, so recommendation, additional details. If I can get you to type in routine care and perineal check day 3 or day 5. Perfect, thank you. And then hit finish for me. Okay, perfect, thank you. Sorry, my mouse is being a bit temperamental today. There we go. Okay, so before we would discharge the patient, we'd normally do the checklist, which I'll point out again. We did have a quick look at them at the beginning. So these are the ones that would normally be on the, I believe, the lilac notes. So these are just forms that you would go in and fill out. So I'm not going to show you these ones today. And then we're going to go in and complete the maternal discharge. So to do this one, I'm going to go to the admission tab. and go for maternal discharge. Okay, Harriet or Freya, did either of you fancy doing this one for me?
I can do it.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so where you've got mother discharge summary and there's a pencil next to it, if you can click that one for me. Perfect, and if you can click next for the first screen. Right, I'm just going to hit the next in the bottom right hand corner. Thank you. And discharge method, we're going to say is consented discharge. Okay, date and time, we're going to leave that one as that one is. Discharge clinician midwife, you'd normally write the actual discharge midwife or clinician, but for today, again, can you just type in test or clinical and pick one of the options there? Thank you. And then discharge destination, if you can tick right those discharge address, same as the usual address, and click next. We're going to say yes, the infant with discharge with mother, and then hit next. Uterus is well contracted, and yeah, and then yes, the next one as well. Lucky, we're going to say is moderate. Yes, there has been perineal trauma, and we're going to say clean and healing. Abdominal wound, we're going to say no. Okay, so the next one, we did jump in time to say the woman is now well. So the catheter has now been removed and the patient is passing urine normally. So if you can tick the box where it says urine pathway in the first yeah. And for this one, method of passing, if you can go for normal micturition, please. Yeah, and time of first urine void, if you can just click now for this example for me. And volume, if you can type in 400 ml for me. Thank you, and there are no problems. Perfect. And then bowels, we're going to say there is no bowel action since delivery. Right, just a few options down where you've got no bowel action since delivery. Yeah, thank you. And then next,
Oh, hold on, my screen's gone frozen.
is it back now or is it still frozen?
It's still frozen.
It did, after you said that, it did go on to the next one.
I don't know if it's because of my Wi-Fi or something, but it's still frozen.
Is it frozen for anyone else? No, okay.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
I think I'm back. Okay,
You're back? Okay,
yeah.
perfect. If I can get you to click OK. Yeah, and then if I can get you to go to the previous, just check it didn't go too far. Yeah, no, that's all saved there. Perfect. So if I can get you to hit next for me. So investigations checked, we're going to say yes. And there are no outstanding investigations. The last hemoglobin measurement, we're going to say is 110. And the date of the last one, we're going to say is today. So if you can hit the today button. Perfect, thank you. Again, if it was something that was taken previously, you can go in and fill them out. Yeah, Amy?
Sorry, I'm just practically, we'd have this all written down. So you'd know when a last HP was because you'd just flick back 3 pages and it'd be there. If you get to that bit and you go, oh, I've no idea what it is, how would you then find that out without losing what you're doing and then add it?
There is an option where you can complete later.
So would that save it up to the point that you've got?
So if you hit that one, if it will come up, then the information you have entered will be saved for completed later.
Okay. And then you just go back into your results, have a quick look, then come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. Hit no to that one. Okay. And then MRFA swab taken, if you can click no to that one for me. And then click next. So contraception discussion, if I can get you to click where it says add new for me. Okay, so contraception discussed, we're going to say yes. Date and time again, we're going to leave it as it currently is. So sterilisation performed at cesarean, we're going to say no. And then for the rest of the discussion topics, if I can get you to click yes for me. Thank you. And then where it says method chosen and you've got some tick boxes, if you can click the one next to none for me. Yep, and then hit finish. Perfect, thank you. And then if you can click next. Okay, so problems prior to discharge. So if you can click where it says confirmed sepsis. Yep. And postpartum hemorrhage. And on the right-hand side, you've got PN regional anaesthetic complications. Yeah, if I can get you to click headache in that one for me. Thank you. And then in the details box down the bottom, if you can type in there, reviewed by anaesthetist, no concerns. Perfect, thank you. And then click next. Okay, so drugs prescribed, if you can tick where it says antibiotics and anticoagulants. Okay, and down the bottom where you've got TTO provided, can you select yes? Okay, so we now need to go in and record what the patient is taken away. So on the top where you've got your 4 icons, you have your pill icon. Yeah, if you can click that one. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, if you can select add drug. Okay, and then in the medication box, if you can type in the cleaxane 40 milligrams for me. Thank you. And it is a prescribed term just underneath if you can tick that one. And the start date, we're going to say that they started yesterday. So if you click in that little box there or on the calendar, yeah, and select the 13th. And the end date we're going to say is 10 days time, so if you go for the 23rd. Yeah, and then if you click finish for me. Okay, and we're going to go in and also add the carmoxyclav, so if you can click add drug for me. And in the medication, yeah, if you can type in coamoxiclav 625 milligrams. And that we're going to say that is the prescribed term. And the start date, again, we're going to say they started yesterday. And the end date was say 7 days time, so it'd be the 20th.
And then you said the 20th.
Yeah, 20th, please. Yeah, Amy?
The medication you're typing in here, if they'd already had this typed in their inpatient stay, or like antenatally, would it all just filter through like some of the other information does?
So it should already be on that pill icon for you.
Yeah, okay.
But because we've not recorded it during this stay, we do need to just make sure it is recorded.
Yeah, but normally it would automatically fill that if she'd already been on it while she was an inpatient.
Yeah, if they've already
Yeah,
been on it, it
perfect.
should already been there, but it's worth just always just double checking.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, and then if you can hit finish for me. Yeah, and then if you can click on save.
Hold on, it's frozen, which is a nightmare. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then if you can click save for me. Okay, and on the right hand side where you've got blood products offered, if you can select no. Okay, and hit next. Where it's got anti-D required, if you can deflect no for that option. And then hit next. So we're going to say no debrief is required. And no debrief has been completed. Mother's emotional and psychological state, we're going to go in and say no concerns identified. And ongoing support at home has been discussed. And then next. Okay, so normally we would again stress that for you to continue doing mental health assessments, and this is where you would go to fill them out. We're not going to go into one today, again, you would have covered it in previous training, but if you do ever need to do one, this is where you would do it, and you would click the add new. If any assessment history, so if any had been previously filled out, they would be shown here for you. And then if I can get you to hit next. Again, because we haven't done one, it's come up with a little prompt reminding us. So just for today, we're going to continue without one. Okay, so on this one, we're going to say no formula fed with informed consent. But feeding method after birth is formula, and discharge feeding method is formula. Okay, I won't get you to tick breastfeeding service questions today, but this is where you would tick them if you need to. And then if you can click the next button for me. Okay, so smoking status. For where you've got smoking status at booking, it's already been filled out as unknown. If I could get you to change that one to never smoked for me. Smokers in the household, we're going to say no. and they don't wish to be referred to smoking cessation. Yeah, and then next. If you can click no OK to that one for me. Sorry, where you've got smoking a discharge, if you can select none for me. Yeah, and then next. Okay, so they're not being transferred out of area for postnatal care. So if you can select no for that one. They don't require a postnatal community midwife home visit, so you can click no to that one. Follow-up arrangement, nephrology results checked, if you can click yes to that one, and they have been discussed. The MMR vaccine given, you can open that one up for me and put not required. Outpatient appointment required, no. Outpatient appointment arranged, no. Urology referral required, we're going to say no. If you do require a urology referral, please note urology aren't using this system, so you will need to follow the current process of emailing them if you do need to have a referral to them. Yeah, me?
Sorry, me again. I haven't been on Argyle for a little while, so they can correct me if I'm wrong, but the MCAs used to do like a discharge chat for us as midwives. So are they allowed to fill this in, or do we just assume they've done what they should and tick yes or no or what accordingly?
Sorry, which was it the checklist that they would normally do?
So they're all the bit about checking their address and making sure they know where to go to what's happening next and whether they're, you know, had the important signs and symptoms of baby and feeding and all this. They just generally go through and make sure the woman knows what's happening when she goes home. So like postnatal community visit, they would have said, oh yeah, you're going to be seen on day 3, day 5, day what's it? Are they allowed to fill in what they've done as MCAs? Do they have access to this, or do we have to go through it all?
I don't know kind of what level of access they will have. So currently, would they record it in the notes or?
Yeah, they fill it in on the back page, so in the purple notes. I mean, again, I haven't done it for a little while, but that's the way it was done last time I was on Argyle. I don't know if any of the others know more than me, but they would have done it for us because everybody's busy, but this seems like it's going to be put back to us to do, which is fine. I just wondered which way round.
So is it the checklist that they would do on the lilac notes? Is that what they would normally do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the checklist sorry, my mouse keeps disappearing there. So I'll go back and show you it again in a sec. But there is a checklist section here, and you can go in and see what checklists have been filled out for you. When we've come out of this bit, which we're nearly done, I'll take you back in and show you the checklist and see if that covers what you were looking at.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. And then if you can hit no to that one, and then hit next. Postnatal appointments required. If you can tick postnatal checkup for me. Perfect, and then hit finish. Perfect, thank you. So you can see that it has filled out all of the discharge summary for you. Again, you can scroll through, check that it is all accurate, and if you need to, you can go in and edit the sections there. Amy, so you've got the checklist here on the left-hand side. So I think this is where they would come to go in and fill them out. I just go into the baby discharge. Is that the kind of information that you
Sorry, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. So do we know if they've got access to that bit?
I would double check with Francesca, but I know the nursery nurses on T3W have got access to it, and they're going to be filling these out. So I would have thought they probably will do.
Okay.
But we're not we haven't been training everybody. We've only been training kind of certain sections of it to certain groups. And I know Francesca and Linda and Michelle have been doing a lot of training. So I can't kind of confirm or deny who's been having the access.
That's fine.
But I
I'll remember
believe
to check.
I believe
myself.
they are.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so next we're going to go in and do the baby discharge summary. We're going to go back to admission and go down to baby discharge. So you'll see, because we filled out the maternal discharge, that I've now got a full blue circle there to show that it has been completed. And the baby discharge one, we've not started it, so it's completely white. If we had just gone out and filled out maybe half of it, that circle would just be half blue for you. Okay, so I'm going to select the pen for next to baby discharge summary. Going to leave a discharge date and time if it is. We're going to go in and say that they are being discharged with the mother. Discharge condition, that's myself. Discharge address checked, I'm going to say yes. And infant discharge, the same as the usual address. So 9p, we're going to say that one there has been completed and an abnormality detected. And then going to hit next. Blood spot test completed. We're going to say no to that one. And we're going to say that that one is due in a few weeks' time. Hearing screen hasn't been completed. Hep B vaccine not required. Not required. Baby problems prior to discharge, we're going to say none. And they haven't sustained an injury at birth. Drugs prescribed on discharge, we're going to say none. Prescription for oral vitamin K provided, nope, not required. Blood group obtained, we're going to say yes, and it is A positive. And the baby hasn't developed jaundice. Baby with a transitional care baby, we're going to say yes. And the reason, we're going to say completing course of antibiotics and also infant of diabetic mother. Management and treatment on transitional care. They say prophylactic IV for maternal sepsis. And hit next. Feeding checklist completed, I'm going to say yes. Baby received breast milk during admission, no. Type of first feed formula. Baby breastfed within 48 hours, no. They weren't given any supplements. Did the baby lose over 10% of birth weight? We're going to say not weighed. And feeding at discharge formula. There is no infant infection. And follow-up appointments required, we're going to say hip ultrasound. And further infant discharge comments. We're just going to pop in suitable for discharge. And hit finish. Okay, just to kind of cover a bit, sorry, that I've realised I should have covered as well earlier. So from the NIPE assessment, if a referral is needed to the screening team, you need to complete a referral on Athena, as you have been shown in previous sessions and we've done here. So if I go back into where we'd go in and do the NIPE, so we're going to go in and go to view women's notes. Okay. So if you need to complete a referral, so for that it picked up a hip issue. As we showed earlier when we were doing the referral to the anaesthetist, you'd go into the purple person and you would go in and add a referral to the screening team. You will also need to go in and create an action for the screening team. So to create actions, you click on the notepad and go to add action. So type of action, we're going to go in and say review the screening results. Target date. So we're going to go in and just add a target date there. So description of action, we're going to pop in please refer for hip scan. Assigned to, so you normally, I believe, type in Ruth Norton or the screening team here. And action status, I'm going to pop it in pending. Just going to pop my name on there and then hit finish. And it's come up with the action has been completed there. And similarly, you can see that the notepad has got a little one there. Okay, so that will come through to the screening team with the referral. You go back to Jeff and go to the inpatient notes. Okay, so we've completed the maternal discharge and we've completed the baby discharge. So the last thing for us to do today is to go in and discharge them from the ward. So under admission, you've got inpatient stay details at the very top on the left-hand side, and you've got the option to discharge from ward. Okay. So you just got a little reminder here again saying that a risk assessment is to take place prior to discharge. Okay, so we're going to come up to where you've got drugs prescribed during stay has been recorded. We're going to say yes, a baby is with mother, yes, discharge reason, well, discharge destination, we're going to say that they're going home, and discharge actions, we're going to say discharge to community midwifery care, and hit finish. And again, it's come up saying you've indicated that drugs have been prescribed during this day. Please ensure that the medication tab is up to date with relevant information, which you see we would have added earlier when we did the discharge. So it's just a little reminder for that one. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, and the patient has now been discharged. If you wanted to just double check that they have been discharged, if you hit your back button, you can go there and you can see that they have now disappeared from the bed space there. So they've now been got discharged through to community. And then those of you that have got training this afternoon will see what then happens when they go through to community. Okay, is there any questions or anything that anybody would like to go over again?
No, thank you.